Hello and welcome aboard. I'm super excited that you are starting this amazing journey with me. My name is Juan and I'll be your instructor. In this very first video, I propose to use something different. I really want to convince you that with the right tools and some practice, you can create a beautiful social media design in a couple of minutes. What I'm going to do is create a design from the scratch so you can experience the full process. I'll tell you what I'm doing, but I'm not going to explain to you why or how yet. So let's start and see something of what you are going to learn throughout the course. This is the design I'm going to create. Imagine that you are a travel agency and you are trying to promote an adventure experience on Asia. It's a nice picture from some place, and what we are going to do is add some text on it, but as you can see, this text is kind of interacting with the scene, making it more interesting, and finally a call to action button. First of all, let's create a new document, name it Asia, and define the custom dimensions. Let's make it square, 1200 by 1200 pixels. Make sure pixels is selected, resolution 72, color mode RGB, and create. Remember that I'm going to explain to you every step I'm doing in detail on the next lessons, so for now, just watch. Now, we need an image. I'm going to drag and drop it onto the canvas, click enter to place it. Let's give the layer name, double click on the layer and name it, picture. The next step is place and resize the image. So I'm scaling it a little bit and I think it's okay. Now let's add some text. Press T on the keyboard to pick the text tool, set the font to Montserrat Extra Light, the size to 78 points, and I'm taking a color sample from the picture. Okay. Discover the world. Let's adjust the scale a little bit. Now I need to center the text on the canvas. And okay. Now let's add the second line of text. I'm creating another layer, name it Asia. Pick again the text tool. The font is the same. Set the size to 250 points. Let's take another color sample from some other place of the picture. Type Asia. Next, I'm going to adjust the letter spacing. 740. Adjust the position. And finally, let's go to the fun part. Please remember again that in this first video, I'm not teaching you how to do it. I'm just showing you how a design is done so you can picture some of what you are going to learn throughout the course. Okay? So let's mask the text to create the magic. I'm selecting the Discover the World layer, add a mask, zoom in to work with more precision, then select the brush tool, adjust the size and softness, make sure black color is selected to hide the part of the text. One click and a second click to draw a black line and magic happens. Let's do the same for Asia. Mask the layer, select the brush tool, adjust it and start hiding. I'm decreasing the opacity a bit so I can see the background through the text. Now let's paint with black to hide this part of the A. Okay, now the I, so it's behind the rocks. The other A, and let's put this letter behind the leg. I'm doing it really quickly, so not much detail. And finally, the S. I think it could be behind the water drops and the bottom of the letter under the water. Good. See how the letters are kind of interacting with the zine? Nice. Okay, so the last step is to add a call to action to communicate what we want people to do. To do that, we need another layer, name it button. Let's pick the rounded rectangle tool, set it up with no fill, a white stroke of 1 millimeter, radius 10 pixels, and now we draw a button. Okay, cool. Let's create another layer and name it button text. Pick the text tool, set the font to 25 points, color white, reset the letter spacing, and type ready for adventure. Now let's add another layer and name it call to action text. Again, pick the text tool and let's use the same font but medium weight. Change the size to 50 points. One click and type contact us. Okay, fantastic. We need to align the text to the center of the button and use the Align tool to center them. Now let's link those layers together and organize them in a group with Command G. Name it Call to Action. And finally, let's center the button on the canvas. And well, we're done. You can go to File, Save, and then export the final image. And that's it. We have our design ready to be uploaded to any social network. So it took me just a couple of minutes to create a beautiful design, and it took me longer, of course, because I was telling you what I was doing step by step, and I didn't use as many shortcuts as I could. So I hope you are really motivated to start learning how to create amazing designs by yourself. As I've said on the promo video, to create this kind of social media design, you don't need to know every tool available in Photoshop. And trust me, there are a lot. Instead of that, I'll focus on teaching you some basic tools and techniques to get you started right away. We are going to create together more than 15 social media designs applying every tool we learn, one at a time. I mean, instead of exploring all the tools in Photoshop before your first design, what I propose to you in this course is that you learn one tool and then we create a real-life project applying it. That way, you can apply what you have learned right away and share it on your social networks. The topics that I've picked for the designs are really random. For example, we are going to design some inspirational quotes, coffee, restaurant, travel, product sales, and more, because it really doesn't matter the business you are at. You can apply it to whatever you want to communicate to your audience. On the next lecture, you'll be able to download these projects files, the image I've used, the font files, and of course the final Photoshop project. But that's not all, because I've prepared a lot of information for you. You'll be able to download also a file with a list of 70 free image resources for your designs. you'll get a ready-to-print PDF with all the Photoshop shortcuts for Windows and for Mac, so you don't have to worry if you don't remember any of them. You'll find a folder with all the fonts that we are going to use during the course projects, so you can install them once and you are ready to start designing. But pay attention, because in every project lecture you'll find also the high-quality images used for that design, along with the fonts and the final Photoshop file ready to download. Also, you'll be able to download all the slide notes used in this course. So, as you can see, I'm giving you all the resources you need and more. So you only need to worry about learning everything and start creating your awesome designs. Finally, before starting the course, I would like to mention a few important things. The first one is that this course is specially focused on students that are starting from scratch. Students who never or almost never opened Photoshop until today. So, with that in mind, in the first section of this course, I'm going to explain the Photoshop interface, which I know it's not the fun part, but is absolutely necessary for someone who is new in this software. So, if you feel that you know most of that things or that is going too slow for you, please fast forward or go ahead and jump to the next section, where we start exploring the tools and creating projects. The pace of the course is going to be incremental. At first, it's going to be slow and super detailed, but while we move forward, we are going to start designing more and more cool projects. So, please be patient at the beginning and enjoy all the journey. And one last thing. As I've said, the course becomes more and more interesting and fun as we learn more tools and we can apply them on more interesting projects. So, with that in mind, I ask you that if you are asked to rate this course early on and you are not sure yet, please wait until the end of the course. I promise that you are going to learn a lot and you are going to love it. This is important for us, the instructors and course creators, because your rating is a super important feedback that tells us what do you think about our work and how to become better teachers. But more important is that it tells other people like you who want to learn Photoshop what to expect from this course. There's no better marketing than the word of mouth. Okay, stop talking, and now it's time to get your hands dirty and start learning everything about Photoshop. Welcome again and see you in the next video.